Welcome to the Chain Out Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
Hey everyone, welcome to Chain Out Podcast. It's season 2, episode 56. I'm Jeremy. With me as always is your favorite and spiffy looking co-host, Daryl.
Just got a little bit more. It keeps coming in dribs and drabs, but we're happy that we're getting it. It's coming in.
Yeah.
Jeremy will have his sometime soon because
what?
The rest of the order that we put in quite a big order. We got the hat and we got the hoodies. Mm-hmm. I got a hat this week, so I thought I'd rep it. I'm going to take it off in a minute because it won't work with the... yeah, you got to get your cans on, as they say in the biz.
But
the other part of the big part, the bit that we're all waiting for, the jerseys.
Yes.
They're coming. They've been shipped, so they should be here within a week or two. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, if you want to look this good, if you want to rep a nice Cardinal hoodie, first time listener, if you want to have a nice hat like this, go to cardinaldiscgolf.com and use the code CHAINOUT at checkout for 10% off.
That's right.
And you'll also be supporting us as well. So we appreciate it.
And you know, the crazy thing is, Daryl, is we look so good on a regular basis.
We do.
I didn't think we could look better, but apparently we can.
We can. Look at that.
Yeah.
Black, white, it doesn't matter. It all looks good.
And I know we have Mark in the comments, and he is always the first one to lay down some truth bombs on us. So he's probably disagreeing with us right about now. But aside from Mark, who else do we got in the chat right now?
Yeah, let's shout out hi to Sam. Sam, as always. Dina, Patreon subscriber Dina's in the chat. New first-time listener, KBD5. Thank you. And
perfect.
Dylan is, as always. And Dylan, put the link in the chat, cardinaldiscgolf.com. Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you know what was funny? Did you notice as we put in, everybody can see who we have on for the guest tonight?
Yeah.
But as you put that one up there, it almost seems like Jason is more than just a person. It's almost like his last name is Tay.
Yeah.
But when it's written out like that, it's like Jason, the Disc Republic.
Exactly.
I'm sure that's pretty old to him. So let's get those out of the way now before we get him on the show.
Yeah. Okay. We're famous for being on the podcast. We always like to have a drink.
Yes.
I'm doing a Beermas Advent calendar. That's what we're calling it. Okay. A Beermas Advent calendar. So I've got day number 3. Where is it? I got my hand over it.
And for those listening,
so
Daryl's got a beer in his hand, and it's wrapped up. So you actually wrap up your beer. My Advent calendar, we don't wrap up the beers.
We wrap it up. And I was told to switch this out for tomorrow because the Oilers are playing. So I have a kind of a guess at which one it's going to be. For those who are listening, this is like ASMR for your... I'm unwrapping the can right now. I have Nation Beer Everyday Lager.
Oh, sweet. So that'd be an Oilers beer.
It looks like an Oilers beer. It's orange and blue.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. Like, I thought it was going to be the Joey Moss.
Do we got any flavor text on that beer can while we're at it?
Contains barley.
All right. That's about as much flavor as
Crisp,
you require.
clean lager crafted for game day and every day.
Nice.
4.5%. So while I pour this, Jeremy, you can just
continue
talking.
On. Well, I will tell you, Daryl, I did something. I didn't think I was going to do it this year, but I did.
What's that?
I buckled and I bought something.
Oh. Well, you've already bought the Brixton card, so it can't be.
I know.
It's not the box of Brixton cards.
No, it's not the box of Brixton cards. But I did go out, and being an MVP Axiom guy, I ordered a Gyropalooza box.
Oh yeah, baby. I've done 2.
Okay.
The Gyropalooza box 2022 was my first.
Right.
I did 2023 with you. Well, not with you, but you did it with Mark, and I've also bought the box as well. So now you're doing
it again. And I was looking, and I didn't know at the beginning. I wasn't quite sold. Cheers.
Cheers. That's a very crisp, clean lager.
Mm-hmm. At the beginning, I wasn't quite sure because I did see what they were offering this year, the ones that they were actually revealing.
Right.
But then I saw Chance Stad just did a video where he played around at Passive Park out in Langley. And what he did was he had his Gyropalooza box, and he had to birdie with every disc. So every disc and a putter. The only putter he got in his Gyropalooza box was a glitch.
Okay.
So he had to putt with a glitch.
Yeah.
And he managed to birdie with every one of his Gyropalooza discs. So then he was like, at the end of his video, he's like, well, I'm done. And I've birdied them all. I'm not giving anything away. And he said, well, that doesn't sound right. So he's giving the whole box away.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So go check out his
Instagram.
Yeah, that's where it was, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, I did that. But we should tell everybody we're doing the chain out episode right now. We're going to have an interview with Jason Tay. But after our chain out episode, we're going to have our Around the Basket episode, which will be live on Patreon. So make sure to check it out. Last week, who did we chat with?
Last week we chatted with Ryan Bonner from Local Disc Golf.
Right.
We had a great conversation with him. Mainly the hot topic of the week was Ken Climo being released from his contract with Innova.
Did you say we had a great conversation with him?
I thought it was a good conversation. One of us was a little bit more vocal than the other people, but
let's just say Daryl has a lot of things to say, and so does Ryan, for that matter.
Okay, just want to quickly address the chat.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely, if you're not a Patreon subscriber, go check it out. There is a free trial. You can watch our Patreon episodes. It's a bit more relaxed than where we are right now.
And what we'll tell you as well is I don't know what Discadal is. We're going to do it again tonight. Yeah. And we had a lot of fun with that, and we want you guys to be part of it and interact with us, and we'll see if we can solve a Discadal puzzle together.
I think we had a lot of fun with Sam and
with Brendan last week.
Yeah. Mark is saying that if you get a Proton Trail, he calls first dibs. And then
Proton Trail, that thing would be priceless.
Exactly. And then Dylan said he'll pay double.
He'll pay double for it.
Yeah. So you might be able to get your money's worth of the box that you've already paid for.
That's right. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So maybe with Jason on, and I bought my Gyropalooza box from Disc Republic.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get him to slip one in there just to help me out.
And then Tim Pomondon, he's a regular. He said that you don't wrap your advent calendar?
No. There's 24 beers. We don't have time to wrap 24 beers. What's that all about?
He told me they just come in a flat of 24 and you just look at the top. You don't look at the sides.
Yeah. The top has the number on it. It says this is beer number 1, and you just go and you peel it off of it's like labeled 1 to 24. Just crack one off. And I should have brought my beer, but I didn't. So I've got a different one. But anyways, that's enough about beer. Let's get to the guest.
Let's get to the guest. That's what everybody's here for.
So tonight's guest is another amazing person who is doing great things for Canadian disc golf. As a player, he plays MPO and MP40. He's the only Canadian to win his division at the NADGT Championships in Austin, Texas. He's also the owner of one of the biggest and best disc golf stores in Canada, Disc Republic.
Can I stop you for 1 second?
Sure.
Jason, if you can hear us, can you turn your phone into landscape mode for me, please? Just before we do the reveal. If you don't, that's fine.
Yeah, we can work all that out once you get on there. No worries on that. He supports Team Canada and many of our Canadian disc golfers while making sure we have all the disc golf items we could ever need. Let's bring Jason Tay onto the show.
I'm going to bring him in a couple of seconds, Jeremy.
All right. In a 5, 4, 3, 2.
There you go.
Hey, not only did you get Jason in, it looks like Jason's actually at Disc Republic as we're reaching him here. Holy crow.
Look at that store.
I thought it'd be a good opportunity for some shameless promotion, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's what we got you on here for.
You know what? I think we should just, we have an outline here. I almost think we should scrap it and you just give us a tour is what I'm thinking, Daryl. But no, that's awesome. What's the better way? We haven't had a chance to get out to Winnipeg yet, but now we get a in close look at it.
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen pictures online, and I know that it was a big store compared to anything that we've seen out east here.
Right.
Out west, but
yeah. I mean, I don't mind giving you guys a tour at some point. If you guys want, I could do it now. I could do it in the middle of the interview if you want. So.
Oh. You know what? I think we're going to get to the store a little bit later. So why don't we say?
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll get the introduction. But how are things going in Winnipeg right now? Are you guys? How's your winter? Is it hit? Is it settled in?
Oh, it's winter now. Yeah, over the past week, it has become winter. It's we've got tons of snow. It's getting quite cold. I think it's around minus 20 or something these days. So. Yeah, okay. It's definitely not good these days. But I mean, that's normal Winnipeg, right? So
yeah. Well, what I've heard always, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I've been to Winnipeg a couple of times, and what people tell me is it's a lot like Edmonton, except it gets hotter in the summer, it gets colder in the winter, and there's more mosquitoes. Is that about the right synopsis of?
That sounds appropriate. I mean, I haven't been in Edmonton a lot, but yeah, that sounds like it could be true. So.
So with the weather and stuff, has that kind of shut down your season for the year, or has the holiday season and the store kind of keeping you busy, or are you still getting a chance to get out and throw a few discs here and there?
I haven't been able to play much this year, but in years past, I have played in winter, like on the weekends, like almost every weekend. It's just I've been really busy with work these days, so I haven't been able to get out as much yet. But I definitely need to get out there, and I can really feel it, because it's like when I don't play disc golf, then I'm not getting as active, and you feel a little heavier. So
yeah, you almost get a little antsy, right? Like you just go, do I even remember how to throw a disc? I got to throw one. I know Daryl kind of takes a little bit of a break at Christmas time or winter time as well, right? So are you feeling that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Jeremy is well known for keeping his streak alive. He will go out every at least once a week to play at least 9 holes. Mm-hmm. Even when we had a cold snap of about -40, -50, I think you went out in a snowmobile outfit and goggles and gloves and everything. So yeah, he plays all the time. I'm not a big fan, or I'm getting a less of a big fan of winter golf. I don't know if it actually improves your form, or if it's a detriment to your form. Is more risk of injury. I don't know. Yeah, I might just get out and throw a little bit.
Yeah, I got seriously injured a couple of years ago because of throwing in the winter, right? Because you really feel like you got to like yank it more, because you can't use your whole core to generate power, right? So yeah, that kind of hurt my whole season there. But you know what? I mean, like, the beauty of playing disc golf in the winter is just, it's something to actually do outside, right, during the winter time, right? Other than, skating or all those types of activities. So yeah, I still enjoy it.
Definitely. Well, we know too, the other thing that's probably keeping you pretty busy, we talked about it a little earlier, was getting all those Gyropalooza boxes out the door, which I got in at that last minute, and I just got my message that it was on its way. So super pumped about that. Has that been keeping you busy?
It's been keeping our team busy. Yeah. I'm actually not in the store a lot myself. So, but we've got 2 or 3 people working every day here that they've been swamped for the past couple of days. So yeah, they've been working overtime and everything. So luckily, I think they've got everyone's orders done today. So yeah, that all went pretty decent. Yeah.
Fantastic.
While we're talking about those Gyropalooza boxes, I often wonder, because obviously we know that they get announced on the website or maybe you get them because, like Jeremy said, as soon as they get released, you get that notification that they're on their way. How soon or how early do you know about the Gyropalooza boxes, and when you want to put your order in? Because obviously you must know before the deadline of when they're going to be released.
The day that you see it go up on our website and that I'm posting to social media, I just get notification of the Gyropalooza like an hour before that, or half an hour before that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we get a couple days to order them, and then they cut off orders from there. And if you place any orders after that, you might get them, or you might not get them, depending on the supply.
So you got to estimate how hungry is the market for them, hey?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's the game. Like, not only with the Gyropalooza, but like every release that comes out, right? It's kind of a guessing game in this retail business, where you gotta guess, how hot is this new release? And sometimes you miss the mark, or you order way too much, right, or not enough. So it's been kind of interesting getting used to that.
I know we're probably going to talk about the store a little bit later.
We are.
But we've got some comments, or at least a comment from...
Oh, man, our comments are just hopping right now, Jason, already. When we just started.
Up. But the one comment just kind of stuck out to me here, and it's kind of, I don't want it to go through the chat and not come out later on. So I'm just going to put it up on the screen here for you to see, but I'll read it out as well.
Sure.
From Tim Plamondon, true story, just had some outstanding customer service from Disc Republic when buying my 10th anniversary Sexton Firebird. Great communication and turnaround time.
Oh.
Thought that was something awesome. That it'd be nice for you to hear.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And thanks a lot, Tim, for that comment there. You know what I really enjoy is just seeing everyone's names there, because I take a look at every single order that comes in, and some of the time I'm the one who's responding to all the messages that come in, right? So it's just... it's neat recognizing some of the people in real life or in the comments and stuff. So yeah.
Well, you got quite a few customers in the chat and even in this room.
Oh yes, definitely. Well, what we'll do, Jason, is as Daryl said, we'd like to get into Disc Republic, but before that, we want to learn more about you and your disc golf history and how you got into disc golf. And if you've seen any of our shows, even if you haven't, that's okay. we give you kind of an origin story, and our listeners get to try and guess what movie I'm referencing. So I try to tie something about you to a movie, get them to guess, and then that gives you time to think about how you're going to tell us how you got into disc golf. So here we go.
Oh, I've got, okay.
Yeah. Are you ready? Well, you can guess too. If you want to guess, you're totally welcome to. So maybe when you were young, you ended up in the frigid north. That's right, Winnipeg. You grew up at a ball golf school learning about irons, woods, sand traps, and more. But as you got older, you realized that you just didn't fit in, even if everyone considered you their buddy. You decided to leave Winnipeg to find out who you really were. Your journey took you to a mystical place called Maple Hill. It was there that you picked up your first disc. And after a swig of your favorite food, maple syrup, you threw that disc over lakes and Christmas trees. You discovered who you really were, and that was a disc golfer. Now, maybe that's not quite how you got into disc golf, so why don't you tell us how it really happened?
The real story? Or, yeah, okay.
Just a continuation from where I went. No.
Okay. Well, I actually, so I've been playing disc golf for around 5 years now, I think. Maybe a little over that. But I actually picked up a disc golf disc, I think 20 years ago, because that's around when I started playing Ultimate Frisbee. And a little aside, so I used to play video games professionally, or semi-professionally. So basically, like 20 years ago is when I retired from video games. So I had a big void in my life. And a coworker asked me to play some Ultimate Frisbee because they saw me throwing a Frisbee at lunchtime. And I fell in love with Ultimate Frisbee. And soon after that, I was at the Ultimate Frisbee office in Winnipeg here, and they told me about disc golf, that this game where you could throw Frisbees and play golf at the same time. And I thought it was going to be the most amazing sport ever. So I bought 20 discs right away so I could play with all my friends. And then I went to a disc golf course, and I threw a disc, and it went super to the left. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And then I tried throwing some more discs, and they all went to the left. And I said, this game is garbage. I didn't pick up a disc for another 15 years after that. So I just stuck with Ultimate Frisbee for a long time. But yeah, so more recently, so I've been playing Ultimate Frisbee, with like touring teams locally and whatnot. And we were getting pretty getting old. So a friend of mine said, hey, let's give this disc golf game a try again here. And I said, oh, okay, sure. So then we went out, and yeah, my disc still went to the left a lot. But I kept at it because I was so bad at it, and I just wanted to beat my friend. So I kept on playing disc golf to get better, and I eventually kind of got obsessed with it, right? And,
never heard of that happening before, hey?
Yeah. That's my story.
Yeah. That's your story. That's awesome. Well, and that whole picking up a disc from years and years ago, that was a thing that even happened with me. I went to Vancouver, and I can vaguely remember a buddy taking me out. Probably the same kind of thing as you said. You throw it, it goes left, and it just didn't hit with me. But I really wished it did now, because I just think about how great of a player could I be right now had it hit with me 20 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too.
I'm just super impressed at your life. Like, you used to be, like, isn't every adult man a big kid that just wants to play video games? And you did that semi-professionally. And then when you stopped doing that,
that's what I did, yeah.
You carried on into disc golf, and now you run your own disc golf store. Like, this seems like this would be my ultimate life.
Yeah, it's pretty all right, yeah.
So give us a little hint there. I know this is a disc golf podcast, but what was your game or games that you were playing on the professional side? Like, what was your top game?
Just mainly just Halo 2. So
okay.
I was really good at Halo, like the original Halo. And so I just beat everybody locally. But then when Halo 2 came around, I got really good at that. And then I kind of decided to test my skills out and see how good I was. And so I went to a big tournament, and then sponsors and teams picked me up from there. And yeah, it was kind of a wild ride traveling across North America and Asia a little bit, playing in tournaments and whatnot. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, we know we do have a local disc golfer who plays in MA40 with us, Travis Bouchard, and he is actually a coach for some video game teams as well at an academy, at a school academy. So.
Oh, cool. That's
yeah.
awesome. That must be a fun job.
I would think so. Yeah, maybe you guys can connect. You can lend all your experience and he can lend all his teaching experience. You could create something else there. So one of the things too, Jason, when we were looking, I took a look to see what your first tournament on PDG on the PDGA pages. Sometimes people have played tournaments, but they didn't get recorded by PDGA. And I saw that it was 2020, Pembina Valley Open. It was MA2, and you were first place in your first tournament that you played. How did that go? And it looks like not only that, did you have to win in a tiebreaker?
Yeah, yes, I did. Yeah. That was against Brandon Drozd.
Yes.
I remember actually, before I even played my first tournament, people were already calling me a sandbagger. And I was like, what is going on? I don't even know how to play in a tournament. I've never played an event before, and I'm already a sandbagger, right? But yeah, I don't know. That was a wild tournament. I think I was ahead by 5 strokes after the first round, and then Brandon caught up and birdied I think like 7 or 8 holes in a row, and all of a sudden he was in the lead, and I was back and forth, but I finally got him in a tiebreaker. So
nice. I'm thinking that taste of winning that you'd already had in the video game realm and then into the ultimate realm, I'm sure it just bled right over, and that was why you were immediately a sandbagger, maybe. But
I guess so. Yeah. It's just that, yeah.
Well, I was looking too, is that tournament was out in Morden, it said, but it didn't really say which course. Was it at Stanley Park by chance?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And then when I was looking at Stanley Park, because I've been out to Winnipeg, but not since I've started disc golfing, so I haven't had a chance to play out there. So from what UDisc says, is that this year Stanley Park was rated the best course in Manitoba. Would you agree? Is that kind of where you think it sits, or?
Yeah, it's probably up there. It's probably tied for first, or like we've got a new course, new within the past 2 years, called Stony Mountain. That's kind of like a crazy course, right? I don't know if you guys have seen pictures or videos.
No.
We're actually going to have our provincials on Park Pro show
Nice.
pretty soon, hopefully. And yeah, it's crazy. It's in a old rock quarry and woods and open areas as well. And yeah,
Wow.
So that's, I don't know, from a scenic point of view, it's pretty awesome to play that course. So yeah, it's really intimidating though. So.
Oh, is
Lots
it?
of people damage their discs there, yeah, and they have to come buy new discs after. So, yeah.
Oh, such a sad thing on your side of the fence, eh?
I cry every night.
That's a tournament you definitely want to sponsor,
Yeah. You get a discount code for every disc you need to replace or something.
Exactly. We wanted to stick with your tournaments. A guest that we had on the show a few episodes ago, Kevin King, kind of mentioned to us that it was a trivia question that he had for us and for our listeners, because he was giving away a disc, was who is the only NADGT winner
from Canada who had ever won a division, right?
Sorry. And of course, that was you. That was back in 2022. You were the MP40 winner.
And
I think he's there.
oh, he's there. There you go. Yeah.
You're the only Canadian to win an NADGT event.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
You're cutting in and out.
Do you want to hear about the whole event, or like?
Oh,
just your memories of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We spoke to Kevin about it, and yeah, he said that you were the only Canadian to win. So if we got you on, we may as well ask you, your experience of the event and how it went down for you. We don't need it round by round, but what was that whole event like?
And also having another crown to your achievements.
It was amazing. Yeah, I mean, any event in the United States is just it's just an awesome experience, right? You've got these people from all across the states that you're competing with, different personalities and whatnot. The courses are amazing. Like for the NADGT Championship, quite a variety. Like big open park with tight wooden lines, and then just like another completely wooded course. So for me, like the main, I guess what I'm most proud of that event is, competing against Americans, right? Because I've always, ever since I started, and I won that MA2 event, people always told me like, oh yeah, well, if you go down to the States, MA2 is pretty much like MA4 or MA3 or something like that.
Oh, and I think do we still have him?
He's still there. I think it's just that he's freezing up right now.
Oh, okay. Well, we haven't had that in a little while.
No.
Yeah, but it'll
we haven't
fix
had
itself.
anybody sitting in a disc golf store for a while.
That's right too. Is yeah. Well, and the other thing we can say to Jason as well. Okay, yeah,
No,
he can always call us back there. But yeah, like as he's saying, is I've heard that as well. Is that if you play MA2 in Canada, that's the equivalent of MA4. Now we did have Sam go down.
Yeah.
Brody went down to NADGT recently, and they were playing in MA3, I believe. So they probably have a good feeling to tell us if the competition was more challenging or not at that event.
Yeah.
But to go down, like listen to what this guy's got going on already, as in Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, and here he's coming back here.
It's
But
okay.
yeah,
You
like
can
winner
carry on.
of a video game competition, like a pro video game player.
Yeah.
You know, a great ultimate player, winning Canadian tournaments, going down to Austin, Texas, winning tournaments there. This is a pretty good start
He's
to
like
a disc golf career, eh?
He's like a born winner, Jeremy. Everything. No wonder Disc Republic is so big and they have to move locations. Everything he does is just a win.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for calling back, Jason.
No problem. I switched to my computer. Hopefully that's
You're so much better now.
no big deal.
But we can switch back to the phone when we want the tour.
Sure. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know
where
how much did you guys get about my
well, where you cut off was just that you had just kind of finished saying that you wanted to go down to the US because everyone was telling you that MA2 up here in Canada is equivalent to MA4 down there. So you wanted to kind of, that's where we lost you.
Yeah, and that's pretty it. Yeah, it was pretty. Again, just a kind of a mind blowing. Like I can't believe I did this.
Right.
So yeah, and it's after that tournament, I've kind of been addicted to just going down to the States and checking out all the tournaments down there. So.
Yeah.
Well, and we can see that in the fact that you've been to Worlds now for the last 3 years in a row. In 2022, you headed down to Peoria and you got 7th in MA40. And then you went down to Flagstaff in 2023 and you got 37th in MP40. And then just this past year, you went down to Emporia and got 45th in MP40. So Daryl and I have talked about it for a little bit, mainly me trying to convince him to go to Worlds. Tell us, is Worlds just one of the best experiences that you can have as a disc golfer, or what are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I'd say so. Again, like the courses are mind blowing. You're seeing these other people play that are, people that you might have seen on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's just it's awesome. Just a little bit of a reality check. Like, these people that you see throwing on YouTube and in tournaments, well, I mean, they're just humans like you also, right? You're playing the same courses as them. Maybe you're going to birdie some holes that they don't birdie. And yeah, I don't know. It's great just to, see how good you can, see how good you are, I guess, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you caught it. We were saying that we have somebody in our chat, Sam. He went down to the NADGT Championships this year. And I have your page up, or the 2022, the year that you won. He's asking, which courses did you play? Do you remember which courses you played back then? I have a list of the courses, but I'm sure you didn't play on all of them.
No, it was one of the main courses, like, I don't know, Metro, some type of Metro course. And then I can't remember the names of them. I'm not going to.
Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah. No, not that much of a memory test. Don't worry about that. Well, and if we go back to the world side of things, when you went down to those 3 that you've been to so far, was one of those locations kind of your favorite? Did you have a course that stuck out more than any of the other ones?
They're all awesome for their own reasons. Like this year at Emporia, like I used to play Disc Golf Valley on my phone a ton, right? So Disc Golf Valley has the Emporia Country Club course on it. So when I was there in real person, I was like, oh my God, this is just like the video game. And like every hole was how I played it in the video game, right? So I love that experience, as well as we played like Jones West, which I think I've heard about. And yeah, it's a pretty neat course. But otherwise, like, yeah, I don't know. Like Flagstaff was an experience. Any of these courses. So Flagstaff was particularly interesting because my flippiest discs were my discs that flew stable. So I've got a super flippy Corvette that I never used, but it was my main disc in Flagstaff because it was the only one that would go straight. So because of the elevation,
Right.
Again, that's just one of the neat things playing disc golf. Just like
how your discs fly differently in different places. So pretty neat to get used to. Yeah,
that's a pretty awesome story. Is that for me watching Emporia on Jomez coverage and then seeing it in the game in Disco Valley, I'm like, oh, that's the course. But you kind of did it the other way around. You seen it on the game and went there and actually played it and was like, oh, this is just like the game.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and Jason, when you would go to Emporia like that, did it give you a new respect too when you got to see exactly where the pros were throwing from and to see how long and big some of those lines are?
Where they're landing.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess so. Yeah. The Emporia specifically was like, super long golf course kind of thing, right? So,
I was going to say, I asked that question though from the point of view of Daryl and I, and we're forgetting that you do have probably a stellar arm compared to the two of us. So for you, it might not be as big of a pull to get as far as they're getting, but for us, we're probably 3 throws to catch up. Hey, Daryl?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have like crazy pro distance or anything like that, but I was still birdieing. I had chances at birdieing lots of the holes. So yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Brock in the chat is asking the question that I was just going to ask you as well. Did you manage to land the island hole 16?
Oh my God, no!
The iconic island hole.
No, I have no clue. I think I lost 4 or 5 or 6 discs.
No, really?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, so the day before, like, I actually practiced laying up also, and I still bogeyed it when I laid up or something like that. I don't know. You know what? Emporia's a crazy course, especially when it's super hot and it's super windy, and then 16, gets terrifying when you got those conditions, right? So yeah.
Now the question is, which I think we know the answer to, are you going to be heading to Minnesota then this year for Worlds, being that it's as close as a city could get to Winnipeg, maybe?
Definitely. Yeah. I think it's around 6 hours or something. So yeah, definitely planning for that. And I'm hoping really we get more people locally to go to that as well, just because, it's an amazing opportunity to be able to go to a world so close. So.
Well, and we've had another one of our guests we've had on, Matt Dwyer, used to live in that area, and we brought him on before, and he's coming on again later on tonight. And he had said there's just so many great courses, whether it's Blue Ribbon Pines to start with, and then what's Kale LaVisca's course, the Preserve.
Yeah.
Right? There's so many in Minnesota and then in the area that you could be down there and for a week not play the same course twice and play 2 courses a day kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've already been going down to Minnesota playing these courses. Like, I went to like Earth Day at the Preserve, and actually, who did I go to? There was a big tournament at Blue Ribbon this year as well, and so again, just awesome courses. So
yeah. Well, we know that when you went to Worlds before, you had some other Canadians come down, like Marty Hendel's been down there while you were down. Chance Stad won it the one year when you were there. We were hearing that most recently back from Australia with Whiff Diff Team Canada. Sounds like Stuart McKissick's going down there too. So it probably gives you a nice chance that, you got people from Western Canada, people from Eastern Canada, all coming together at Worlds and maybe seeing some familiar faces, or like you said, those ones that you've seen on YouTube, and you get to see some other Canadians, which I think would be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome because it's kind of surprising you don't see that many Canadians going down to these bigger events, right? But of course, there's cost and time off and all that type of stuff, right? So yeah,
right. But I think at this point, if I do remember right, if you're a Canadian, you get an auto invitation as long as you've played the right amount of tournaments or something like that. Like you don't have to hit the same point thresholds to get to Worlds as they do in the US.
Yeah, I think that's somewhat right. I know for like MA40, it's like that. You just have to play like 3 events.
Okay.
But MP40, I'm not too sure. I think you have to collect a certain amount of points, which your finishes might come add up for that. So yeah, I don't know if it's as easy for MP40. But yeah.
All right. So that's another reason, Daryl, not to move up to MP40 just yet.
You're spoiling it. I haven't told anyone that I might be thinking about that yet.
Oh, I think you've said it on the podcast about 5 times.
Okay, maybe. We mentioned about Matt Dwyer there, who's coming up later and used to live in that area. He has a question here in the chat. Have you played the Hallows, formerly Vision Quest?
That's this year, the big tournament, whatever it was the Hollows and VRP.
Right. Okay.
But yeah.
2 great courses. Yeah.
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 Well,
it was yeah, it was yeah. I'm just super impressed with all these courses, right? A lot of variety and challenging, but not too challenging to make you want to pull your hair out, kind of thing. Yeah.
Just
Well, you'd be okay at that.
Yeah. Apparently, I'd be all right. Well, that's a little bit about you there, Jason. But if we want to go back to Disc Republic, I don't have a fancy origin story based on a movie for Disc Republic, but why don't you tell us, when did Disc Republic first open, and where did the idea come from to start a disc golf store?
And I pulled up some old pictures in case you guys wanted to see that stuff too here. But
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
I'll share my story here. But
Yeah.
yeah, so when I started playing disc golf,
Mm-hmm.
I realized that there's not that many places to buy discs. So even locally, I think one of my first discs was like a Firestorm that cost me like $35 or something like that. Like I didn't know the Firestorm. And then I went online, and I noticed that all the websites that sell disc golf discs were terrible websites, and so my other gig is I run an IT company, so I do website design and that type of stuff, right?
Right.
So I just kind of put two and two together, like, oh, you can't buy discs around here. All the disc golf websites suck. Well, like, okay, you know what? I think I could do this, right? So, and at the same time, so this IT company that I run, we have an office downtown Winnipeg, and we were going through COVID, so all of our employees were working from home. So basically, we had all this space downtown that was completely empty for the entire year. So I
Right.
kind of thought, like, oh, you know what? I could just run a disc golf store out of this. So, but yeah, if you guys want to see some of these pictures here,
Yeah, we'll let you know one thing too, Jason. When you share your screen with us, it may mute you. So just in case we don't hear you, but we'll tell everybody what we're looking at.
Or you can explain the photo before you bring it up.
Okay, we'll see. These are a bunch of pictures from the iterations of Disc Republic. So we moved like 2 or 3 times. We started out in the basement of a warehouse, and then we moved into like a 200 square foot room essentially,
Right.
and then we moved into 1,000 square foot room, and now we're in around a 4,000 square foot building. So,
Wow.
Awesome.
and it's been moving all pretty fast here. So
Yeah.
let me see if I can.
You're trending in the right direction, which is good to hear.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so let's see if this works. Oops.
Well, you know what? Give me 1 second. If you share that screen again,
Daryl will do his magic.
I have to. Is what I'm employed for.
Yes, that's why you get paid the big bucks, Daryl.
I'm the button pusher. Let me
Yeah.
know when you're sharing again.
I'm sharing right now.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
So you guys can hear me right?
Not anymore. And look
Okay,
at,
now we're getting a cascade if you can still hear us. So if you want to quickly bring something up on screen, there we go. So we can't hear you, but we'll let people know what we're going to be looking at.
yeah, we'll tell them a bit about what we're seeing, and once we bring you back on, you can kind of correct us.
Yeah.
Oh, so that would have been, that's the basement. That's got to be the basement.
That's the
where it
basement
started
of
out.
the warehouse there.
Yeah. So that's, yeah, you can tell from the background that we can see of Jason now compared to looking at that. That's a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's how, most disc golf stores or most people that sell discs are,
Okay, there's another shot of it. Yeah.
that's what you got to start with. Start with small, start with low overheads. Anything you can do. It's just going to a black screen, Jason, if you can hear us.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'll bring you back in again.
Yeah. So we could see there when you were showing, we saw the basement there. That's quite a difference from what we're looking at right now.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only photo that we were able to see was the basement photo there.
But you know what? Another thing we might be able to do, Daryl, is if Jason can send us some photos, would we be able to put some of them up if he wants to share them?
Yeah, if you want to email them to me. I mean, I know this is kind of
On the fly?
on the fly. If you can do it and still answer our questions, Jason, that would just show us that you're even more of a rock star than we think you are already.
Can you guys hear me right now? Or?
Yeah, now we
Yeah,
can hear you.
yeah, we can hear
Whenever
you.
you share
Yeah,
your screen
sure,
is when
I'll,
your microphone dies there.
Yeah. Well, another thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sounds good.
Well, one of your last moves when I was looking is that you're in this larger store, and it looks like you found the spot in Winnipeg in the fact that you're right near a place called Happy Land Disc Golf Course, and then you've got a Tim Hortons by you as well. Does it really get much better than that?
Yeah, this is the perfect spot. I mean, Happy Land is the disc golf course that everyone starts at. It's kind of our pitch and putt, and it's our only course in the city that has concrete tee pads as well. So people play it
Okay.
during the winter time. During the summertime, it's got a nice watery creek where people can lose lots of discs and come replace them at Disc Republic. Yeah, so it's actually perfect. Yeah, so I mean, when we used to be downtown Winnipeg, and yeah, during COVID, that kind of got a little rough, and people sometimes don't want to go downtown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's doubled our foot traffic and doubled our in-store sales since we moved over to this new location.
Yeah. Do you have a sign on the course with like Disc Republic this way? Just an arrow? Just
Not yet, but I definitely should get up on that. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You've played at Happy Land. Now go to the Disc Happy Land, 1 block west or east or whichever.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's perfect marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Well, and not only does Disc Republic sell discs and do all of those things, but you've also been sponsoring players as well. You sponsor players, you support Team Canada. When did you get into that? Right from the start, or has that been a recent thing?
Yeah, from the start, our oldest sponsored player is Susan Jervis from Ontario. And if you guys don't know her already or know her social media, I think her social media is Tickle Some Branches.
Okay.
And it's awesome. So Susan's, I think she plays FA50, and she's been killing it this year. I think she went down to Ledgestone and she won down there. And
wow.
She's been with us from the start, and really, I guess we use sponsorships to help get our name out there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of a combination of just building awareness around our brand, but also just kind of helping these people, right? Because we know that it's pretty costly to play disc golf and travel, and just trying to give back to the community with those.
For sure. Well, and some of the players that we've had a chance to talk to, including Brian Fries and I think Chantal Badinsky as well, and a number of players that you're working with. Who else are you working with these days? Who's on the Disc Republic team for players? Or is there too many to name?
I mean, there's lots to name. Yeah, Bryce Croucher, Austin Bogue.
Oops. Sorry.
Carver Whitford.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Noah Higgins. Sorry if I'm forgetting any names here, but there's a couple more out there. So Alicia Hums in Ontario. Yeah.
Oh, those are a lot of names that we know, and either we've had a chance to meet or talk to, or even had on the podcast in some cases.
Yeah.
So,
just while we bring it up, we're all about promoting Canadian content, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's Tickle Some Branches on Instagram.
So yeah, make sure to check that out. Give her a follow, just like we are.
There you go. Give her a new follower. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she's
killing it.
I mean,
2024.
And I'll just say, like, I always thought Susan was like the perfect person to sponsor, like for our company, right? Because I think she really represents like something that I hope that everyone aspires to be, right? When you're getting a little older, making sure that you're staying active and competitive, I fell in love with her social media when I first saw it a long time ago because she's got a great sense of humor on there. So, yeah, it's just really really nice to see.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you've done is you've answered part of our question. We now kind of know what you're looking for in a sponsored player. If they're going to be part of the Disc Republic team, they got to represent the sport. They got to be active. They got to be having the right attitude about it. Now, do you look for new players every year? Because every time when we're talking to people, they're always talking about wanting to be sponsored in that. So if a person was saying, oh, I want to be sponsored by Disc Republic, is there a way they can apply, or how does that work?
It's a little bit of an interesting question these days. I think in the entire disc golf industry, right? I don't know if you guys I've been hearing on various podcasts, because the entire industry is kind of a little bit of getting a reality check right now, right? Based on post-COVID, it's not super sales aren't super hot these days, right? So so similarly, like a lot of disc golf companies or manufacturers are kind of pulling back their sponsorships. We're really trying to, take a careful look at the players that we invest in, right? So one thing I will mention, like to me, it's actually just really important that like I see sponsorships as more of a partnership, right? So I mean, we're definitely here to help out the players, like financially, right? And what I really appreciate is when the players really want to help us out, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so like, you know, I like to be a little proactive. Like if I see somebody out there that you know, is really willing to help out Disc Republic and really promote us, then you know that really helps out to pay the bills and help pay the sponsorships, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great point, hey, Darryl. I don't know that everybody realizes that it's a two-way street, right? It's like some people think that, hey, I'm going to play disc golf and you should take care of me because I'm playing disc golf and that's good for you. And it's like, well, no, I don't know if that's all you need to do. I think we should work together. And if it's beneficial to both parties, then let's continue that relationship.
yeah, and that's exactly it, right? Like, and I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but yeah, it's just not good enough just to be good, right? You got like being good doesn't pay the bills, right? Like not at least not our bills, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
And also not
total sense.
And where our sport is at the moment it has grown, it's leveled off a bit, and it still has so much more room to grow. Maybe one day when you've got millions of eyeballs on the winner of disc golf worlds or something like that, then maybe it's starting to pay the bills if they're wearing Disc Republic on there, but we're not quite at that point yet. So
yeah, totally. There's different evolutions to our company, and yeah, where sponsorships would benefit it or not, kind of thing, right? You know, we're not a big Innova, or we're not selling Tour Series discs for all of our players and whatnot, right? But hopefully that's something that we would love to do in the future, right? So,
yeah.
Hopefully the sport will get there. That's what we're all hoping for, right? That's what we're all about, promoting the sport, not only in Canada, just to get more people playing, more eyes on the sport.
Yeah. And that was even with us starting the podcast as well, Jason, was get more eyes and more conversations about disc golf in Canada. Disc golf as well, but mainly let's focus more on Canada so people know not just who Thomas Gilbert is, but they know who Rebecca Dawn is, who's up and coming, or they know who Karen Martell is, or all of these other players that are out there doing big things in Canada in a sport that's still on its way up. So hopefully we can get it there for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate what you guys are doing, and yeah, what the Park Pro guys are doing. It's all great to see, right? Because we all have to start somewhere. Yeah. Because even us, I told you, Disc Republic started in a basement and in a 200 square foot room, right? But because of everybody's support, we've been able to grow to where we are, and hopefully to bigger and better things. Right?
Exactly. That's it. Yeah. That's the main thing, is we want to keep it going in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it's as much as people always say, support local. It's had a new meaning to me while running Disc Republic, right? Because it's super important to support local, support Canadian, and all that, right? Because I don't know. Yeah, I guess sometimes you might be able to go to like Infinite Discs or order from the States to get bigger selection, but yeah, that might be hurting the local community, right? So
yeah, that was one of the refreshing things when we spoke to Scott Stokely. Like, he's a big proponent of buy local, support local. There's nothing, he's very willing to sell you one of his Stokely discs, but there's nothing that he's going to be doing more than what you're doing to support local disc golf. He's not putting T-pads or T-signs in the ground or courses in the ground, but local disc golf stores, local disc golf associations and communities, those are the ones that are putting the courses in the ground, maintaining the courses, right? So he's more than happy to sell you a Stokely disc, but he wants it, he'd rather, he's getting his money regardless, whether he buys it if anyone buys it from you or they buy it from him directly. But there's no comparison of what he can do for the sport versus what you can do locally. So yeah, that was good to hear from him.
And sorry if I don't want to get too off topic here or anything, but like on a related topic there, as far as support local. So, I mean, recently I just saw that I believe Limber is going to be closing, and they're in Calgary, right? Which really sucks, right? And they made a comment on their social media post about like competing against manufacturers these days, right? And that's exactly the truth, where it seems like some manufacturers are trying to sell you stuff from their website, which is not helping the local retailers that are again trying to grow the sport, right? So, but anyways,
No, and we did have a point about that here too, is you're right, because in Alberta, we've witnessed this year that our Edmonton locals brick and mortar store, Gander Disc Golf, closed their doors. And then with Limber, they're going to be ceasing their disc golf sales. I think they're still going to keep Limber Hollow open for the other businesses that they do, because that was how they were making a go of it, was not just disc golf. It was multiple I guess, what do you call that? Paths and stuff?
Yeah, ventures. They had a bar there. They had the craft sales. They had different products and different avenues, but all under the same four walls.
But we're still lucky enough to have some disc golf sellers in Alberta. But now I think that ends, aside from the Play It Agains and the people who do disc golf as an aside, but we don't have the dedicated disc golf store. So talk about another reason to support local is so that those things don't happen.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it's a tough business to be in, right? Like, I don't know if anybody else has talked about the retail side of disc golf, right? But I mean, one of the realities that I realized getting into this business is it's it's like cliche. You gotta spend money to make money, and that's 500% true in disc golf, right? Like, you gotta keep on bringing in the latest stuff to hopefully attract people to come to your website to buy stuff, right? But even if you order that latest stuff, maybe people won't buy it, but you got to keep on ordering more stuff and hopefully people buy it. Yeah. So it's, I don't know, maybe it feels like a sand trap or a quicksand or something like that. You got to keep on trying to dig your way out of it, right? So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like I said to you earlier about the fact that you were a video gamer and then you moved into owning a disc golf store. We've spoken to other people that wanted to get into disc golf. Brendan McKinstry, he wanted to get into disc golf. There wasn't a course near him, so he just designed his own course. But the headaches that come with owning a disc golf store and the product that we sell or that you sell, that they're so cheap in regards to, you're not selling like big screen TVs or, they're $20, $30 a disc. You have to bring in so many to justify bringing them in. But you like you said, you can't guarantee that you're going to sell all of them, but you have to keep bringing in more. So what do you do with that old inventory? It's not like you can recycle it or, not in a Trash Panda way. You have this inventory. Like, how do you get rid of it? And you got to keep bringing in more. So, yeah. As much as I would love to own my own disc golf store and be doing that for a living, I don't envy you with all the headaches that come with that as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that we've been pretty fortunate and lucky that, we've had customers across Canada and across the world that have been ordering from us, right? So hopefully all the discs that are here end up selling eventually, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, and the thing is we know that everybody who plays disc golf has just daydreamed about owning a disc golf store at some point. There's that would be living the life, because what they'll think about, and we can't, we've highlighted some of the tough things about it, but some of the other ones is, hey, I've got access to any disc I want. I can get any drop I want, any size, any weight. That's what they're thinking. I'm going to be doing what I love. I'm going to be part of the community. So I'm sure there are some highs to it as well that you're enjoying. Otherwise, you still wouldn't be going into bigger and bigger stores and bringing more discs in. So is that, have I hit all the highs, or are there some other exciting points that you have about owning a disc golf store?
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of those highs, I don't need, like, I hardly pull any discs for myself, actually. I kind of have my set bag, and these are the discs I know and I like to throw. So, it's neat looking at some of these discs, right? But, I mean, I leave them for the customers, right? So, the main perk about owning a disc golf store is, all these tournaments that I travel to, or that courses that I explore, right? Those are all business write-offs for me, right? So, because I'm exploring essentially, to do research on running my own tournaments or designing my own courses. So it's all justifiably, right? So
there you go.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You got to get some highs for all the work you put into something, right? And that's a great benefit for sure. So fantastic.
Absolutely. And again, just like meeting everybody too, right? It's kind of neat that, I was out at Canadian Nationals this past year, right? And I bumped into, actually it was pouring rain when I was watching the finals for MPO, right? And then somebody offered me, just to stand underneath their umbrella. And then I asked him, like, hey, what's your name? And he's like, oh, Dexter. I was like, oh, Dexter McKnight, right? And it was a customer of mine, actually, right? I don't know that many Dexters. And he's like, yeah, how do you know, right? And I say, oh, what's your friend's name? And he's like, Brett. Oh, that's Brett Wells. And I'm like, so it's really fun just meeting all these people as well. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, fantastic.
I just wanted to go back to a little bit of your origin story, because there was a question in the chat that I kind of wanted to just bring up here. And I think we had a similar question in regards to starting Disc Republic. The question from Tim is he wants to know what makes a Disc Republic a republic. Was there a democratic vote, and is there a chancellor? But that kind of goes along with another question that we had was, as far as we know, Jason, owner of Disc Republic, is there? Do you have a partner, or is it just you, or is everything done by yourself?
I'm the sole owner. I'm the main owner. But we try to have 3 people working full time every single day.
Okay.
Recently, we've reduced it down to 2 on one of the days. But yeah, during the summer, we had 3 full time employees working every day, not including myself. So
Okay.
I work on my IT consulting business,
Mm-hmm.
but I take care of a lot of the ordering and I like responding to emails from customers. I always love responding to them. If I respond to them within a minute, they're like, "Oh my god, that was so fast!" So I like impressing people and making sure that customers know that they're not talking to a robot. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the answer to the second question, but we do have to go back to Tim's question. So about how the Republic is run, and is there a chancellor or any of those? I'm sure there are very serious questions he was asking.
I'm not a politician myself. I don't know the structure of a republic. We just thought it was a catchy name. So
Oh, that's awesome. Well, one thing we want to do is we're getting closer to the end of the interview here. It's a great time of year to talk about this. We're getting close to Christmas. Some people are probably scrambling right now with some, oh crap, I got a disc golfer on my Christmas list. I don't know what to get them. I don't even know anything about disc golf. Can we talk about some of the items that you might suggest to people? And we're kind of thinking, why don't we start with some stocking stuffer type items? So if someone was trying to put something small under the tree, what would you suggest for them?
something small. Well, I was kind of thinking maybe if I gave you guys a tour, I could show you guys
Yeah.
these
Oh,
items.
Absolutely.
sure. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
so-
you can hang up, Jason, and then give us a call back on your phone.
Okay.
That'd
Okay.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I've seen photos of it online. I know that it's a big store. When he said 4,000 square feet, he's up to now.
4,000. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I was going to ask when he was mentioning about his IT background, I know somebody close to the Edgar board that's an IT background person.
Oh, yeah.
What would the, is it beneficial? I want to ask him here. I'm just going to bring you in, Jason. Bring you over to here. As much as, you receive orders from all across Canada and all across the world, do you see a benefit, like you said, that Limber closing down? If you're looking at it from a selfish mindset point of view, that just means that it's more customers for you because they've got less places to go. But you also see the benefit of having those brick and mortar stores, or at least other businesses across Canada, to keep promoting the sport, right?
Yeah, of course. You need those the local presence and the people to really get the sport going there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like to be honest, it is a little bit of I don't know, a little bit of a touchy subject, right? Because I think in the past there has been a lot of maybe we'll just call them like trunk salesmen or people that try to start up a store really quickly to make a quick buck, right?
Right.
And then I mean, my opinion of those is some of that kind of hurts the sport, right? If there's just somebody that's trying to make money and put it in their pocket and not really growing the sport that much, well, that kind of takes away business from legitimate businesses that are
Right.
trying to grow in with disc golf, right? So
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Okay.
So everybody get ready. We're going on a tour.
Oh,
okay, I'm not sure how to switch my camera. Do you guys see my face or?
we're just
Yeah,
looking.
we
We're
see
just
your
through-
beautiful face there.
Oh, I'm not Christmas. character.
You're not switched around. Let's put you
Okay,
back
there we
over
go.
here.
That's how we do that.
No, we're still just looking at your face at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, front camera, back camera. There we go.
There you go. Now we're getting it switched. No, I think you disconnected, Jason.
Well, Daryl, I'll tell you.
I'd make this stuff look easy now, don't I?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. We got 2 IT wizards here, and sometimes the programs don't work exactly as planned.
Just while we're waiting for Jason to join back in again, Dylan in the chat there, whale sacks.
Oh, that would be a great stocking stuffer
that
for
is
sure.
a great stocking stuffer.
Definitely would be one for sure.
Okay, let's see if we got you this time, Jason. There you go.
Oh, there we are.
Okay, let me
Oh,
put-
yes.
Perfect.
Oh, so these just came in. These are this is a new board game from it
Yeah.
was a Kickstarter. Caleb Mathers out in BC. He's the one who designed the game. So I've been
Yeah.
helping. We've been helping distribute this game. So this is it's a hefty one too. So it looks pretty awesome. If you've ever played Settlers of Catan, the board looks like that a lot. So no,
Yeah.
I'd recommend that one to pick up.
Okay.
Let's see what's back here. Actually, this is kind of our receiving area here.
Wow, we're getting
Where,
a true behind the scenes here. You got to have a
yeah,
basket.
I mean,
Is that a
it's not-
practice basket? That's for lunchtime?
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. Here's all of a bunch of our Gyrapaloozas. So of course you guys know the Gyrapalooza.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. Certainly.
Yeah. We made sure
Your
to order a
box.
ton this year because we ran out really fast.
Is there one there with Jeremy's name on it already, or is
Uh,
that one? That
mine's
one's
already out the
gone?
door. Yeah, it's out the door
already.
that fast.
Oh yeah, Jason said that he made sure that all the orders were
Already shipped out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This might be a stocking stuffer. So these Brixton trading cards.
Right.
So these
Have
have
you-
been
have-
actually surprisingly hot in Canada.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. You finding those are hot deals that you can't kind of keep on the shelves?
Yeah, we've had to place another restock shortly after our first order. So
Yeah,
that,
they seem to have blown
that
up
was a nice
recently.
surprise.
Yeah.
Let's see what's over here.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Here we are.
I don't know
So
what else we
much.
got here.
Well, and it doesn't just have to
These are
be
all the
stocking
Canada Post
stuffers.
packages that are just
Oh no.
yeah, just showing you guys here. So the Canada Post strike. Oh, we probably have like I don't even know like 100 packages here just waiting to go out. That yeah, the letter mail can't go up by Canada.
Yeah. Can't go out by Canada Post.
What else can I say? We got the new. I mean, not a stock stuffer, but these new bags from Axiom. They're pretty swanky.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe
That's
a popular one would be retrievers, right? So
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, so the Hive disc golf retrievers. That's kind of like that's probably one of our best sellers when it comes to retrievers.
Right.
I don't know what else I got for you here.
Yeah, no.
Discs,
So,
of course. Everyone
yeah.
loves discs. So.
So we kind of had some topics or some categories. We had the stocking stuffers. Then we thought about what about some standard priced events. You know, if you got a person on your list, you're a disc golfer, they're a disc golfer, something that you know that they might like, a standard priced item. What do you reckon? Would you recommend?
Yeah.
Um,
Because I think what we've
Hey,
got right now is we've got. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say hand warmers might come to mind. Somebody that plays
Yeah.
Yeah.
disc golf in the winter.
See, and that's it. That's the difference between a disc golfer giver that doesn't know anything about disc golf, wouldn't think about hand warmers, but somebody who plays disc golf this time of year, they know that
You need those.
hand warmers are going to be a vital thing to get. So that's a great option. And then
Absolutely.
and then we
this
also-
is another one that just came.
okay, another
And what would that one be?
This one's kind of like Ripped Revenge. If you guys ever played that, it
Okay.
kind of enhances your game on the course.
yeah. I actually just picked up a Ripped Revenge from you. But we have yet to play that, Jeremy.
Yeah,
we
we'll
are
have to
going to
get
get
up
out and play that. And then what would you say if you wanted to go all out and get something for yourself? If you wanted to treat yourself, money was no object. What sort of things would you be looking at there if you had to pick one thing from the whole store?
I'd say a Squatch bag. Yeah,
Yes.
I've got this one myself. Or actually,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is a lure or the legend, but
The legend?
I used to run a grip bag myself, and I just find that the Squatches are lighter and they carry more discs. So yeah, that's definitely a luxury item.
Yeah, that's awesome. While you're talking about that, there's my Ezra Aderhold Squatch bag that I'm just showing on camera right now, which I purchased from you.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Thanks
And then I guess
very much.
the one
I'm
final
just going to a room here.
yeah, well, the one
Actually.
final question that I had for you. Let's say you had a gift giver that didn't play disc golf. They didn't know anything about disc golf, but they knew they wanted their secret Santa was somebody that they knew played disc golf. Is there an item that you think no matter who you're going to give the item to, it's going to be an item that they're going to want, regardless of their skill type or playing ability or how many discs they have. Is there one thing that you think that every disc golfer needs?
Well, I think I was just looking at these max distance retriever heads. So that's been a really popular one, right? I don't know if you guys know these, but they're essentially the suction cup ball heads, right?
Yes, yeah. Those, we've had a couple people like Daryl who have also bought one of those, and they've come in so handy. When the hooks, you're kind of struggling with the hook trying to grab a disc out of a tree, that suction ball works perfect. Or if it's in the water, another time where that just really comes in handy.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, when I first saw those, I didn't think they would be popular at all. I thought they were kind of goofy, but one of our customers, Mr. Mike Evans, he said, "Hey, you guys should bring these in. They're going to be really popular." And I was like, "All right, I'll give it a try." And yeah, they're one of our best sellers every year. So
nice. Well, what we'll do, Jason, thank you for that tour. If we can get you just to come back one more time on the computer, we'll just wrap this one up here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to hang up here.
Yeah,
Sounds
you bet.
good.
And Daryl, so he was showing that Chains disc golf game, and I'm so excited to see that he has it there because I supported that Kickstarter right at the start, and I've been getting, I think we're on update number 22, which was that our games were shipping, and I just paid my shipping fee.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have that game coming too.
You're having it coming in?
We're going to have to show that one off when we get it here.
It's so funny watching him go around like that because I've got these, this Revenge. Oh yeah, I just got that just in my last order. Oh, got these Squatch bags. Oh yeah, that was like one of my second or third purchases from him. And it's funny because in my bag, and I was looking, I think a question, sorry, Jason, I'll just bring you back in here. There was a question on Instagram was, what one disc do you have in your bag that, which is your longest disc that you've had in your bag? And I kind of looked through my discs and I was like, I'm not too sure. I've had this one for quite a while. I know what I'll do. I'll go onto my Disc Republic history and look through my orders. And the first order that I ever placed it had like 6 or 7 discs in there, but one of them was my G-Star Mako 3.
Oh.
My purple G-Star Mako 3, which is still in my bag to this day. So the very first disc that I ever bought was the Mako 3. So yeah.
There you go.
From Disc Republic. And I have a max distance grabber as well.
There you go. Well, Jason, what we want to do is we're going to bring it to the end of the episode here with you, with the interview. And one of the things that we realized is that you're sitting there in the store. It looks like nobody's there. It looks pretty quiet right now, maybe a little lonely, maybe almost like as if you were on an island. Hey, Daryl?
Almost like you were on a desert island, Jeremy?
Possibly.
Now it's time for Desert Island Discs. Picture this. You've taken a relaxing cruise, however the ship goes down. You manage to swim to an island. And fortunately for you, there's an 18-hole disc golf course. Which 3 discs are you taking with you on the island?
There you go. It's a staple of the show. You say that you don't change up your bag that often. You've got your discs, so I should imagine these 3 discs are going to be pretty much set in your mind of which 3 discs you're going to take with you. Last week, we had Jen and Craig Snow from Goat Towel, and they added something to it, which I think we actually I want to bring on to the, keep going.
Sure.
So which 3 discs are you bringing to you on this desert island? And if you could bring any one course and put that on the island, which course would you want to play?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I'd bring my 3 most used discs. So I'm a Berg lover. I don't know if I'll get some haters for that, but the
Not from here.
Berg, I putt with it. I approach with it. That's that one's in the bag for sure. And the ESP Nuke, I'd say.
Wow.
That's kind of my main distance driver for everything. And maybe a mid range. So we'll go with I'm gonna go 3. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, straight shooter. Actually, I think that's the disc that made me start liking disc golf because it could go straight. It was like it flew like a frisbee, right? So yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
sorry,
And which course would you
bring to the
teleport
island?
to the island?
Yeah.
If you could only play one course on the island, what course would you pick?
Yeah, I might bring Happy Land. I don't know. It's just it's kind of got sentimental value I never mentioned this, but like when I first started playing disc golf, I was coming to Happy Land like before work, at lunchtime, and after work. So sometimes 3 times a day playing.
Yeah. A little bit of home on the island for you.
So you know what I'm hearing here is he pretty much is on his desert island. He just has to take those 3 discs, walk out the door, go 5 minutes west, and he's there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've switched my bag over to pretty much it is all Innova now, but before it was Innova, I was putting with the Berg. I have a Mako 3. I'm liking Jason.
Yeah.
I'm liking your choice. I don't have the arm speed to throw a nuke, though.
No. There you go.
I'll rely on my Gorgon or my Racer.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got a lot of different Innova in there for sure. Well, Jason, thanks so much for joining us. This is the point of the show where we want to give you an opportunity. If there was anything that we didn't cover or anything that you wanted to shout out, this is your time to do it. So go right ahead.
No, I mean, I just really appreciate all of our customers, right? You know, it really means a lot to us, especially if you guys, sometimes we get some nice emails saying like, hey, you guys are our favorite store. I really love your website and your customer service. So, whenever we get any of those comments, I make sure to share it with our whole team because our team works really hard, and I kind of really make sure to hammer it into them. Like it's really important to make sure we ship out people's stuff like right away because that's the kind of service. When I started ordering discs, I'll give a shout out to Ace Runners because you know what? When I started ordering discs from them when I was a disc golfer, getting those within like 2 or 3 days, that always blew my mind and made me so happy to start throwing those discs. Right, so we're really taking a lot from them to get to the point where we were or where we are right now. So thank you very much to everybody that continues to support us. So and maybe I'll just mention like we definitely have big goals in mind. I really want Disc Republic to become like the Infinite Discs of Canada. So hopefully to have, a bunch of touring players or people that we can sponsor and with wholesale distribution and custom discs and whatnot, right? There's lots of directions that we can go into, right? We just got to keep on powering through this, all the changes in the industry. So,
yeah. One thing I just want to touch on there that you touched on it, but I want to say, whenever I've ordered anything from Disc Republic, like you said, it's always shipped out the same day. And the shipping, the company that you use to send to Alberta, to Edmonton, it's like 1 to 2 days, 2 to 3 days. It says maybe 4 or 5 on the, the projected time frame, the shipping thing. But like, it's always super fast shipping. And I really appreciate that. Yeah.
We've got customers in Montreal, and they tell me they order it like the night before, and then they receive them the next day. And I have no clue how that happens. But, thank God taken care of, so.
Well, they're awesome.
I think everybody knows that we're encouraging them to check you guys out and to buy some stuff there. And even to one of our supporters and listeners as well, Dina Dyes Discs. We understand that she's got some discs on your site as well, so people can check that out. And it's like a full circle of support when we get to that point, hey?
Absolutely, yeah, works.
Yeah. So thanks so much, Jason. We look forward. We're talking about maybe going out to nationals this year out in Ontario. If you're heading that way, maybe we can catch up with you there, or if we get to Winnipeg to go to the candy store for disc golfers, which is Disc Republic, we'll definitely let you know we're coming.
Sounds good. Yeah, look forward to it.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, Kevin.
Jason.
Sorry, Jason. Why did I say Kevin? I don't know. Thanks for your time, Jason.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Jason. Bye-bye. Well, Daryl, we've chatted with our supporter, Brendan McKinstry of BR Disc Golf. He's one of our great local store owners and disc suppliers.
Yeah.
Now we've talked to Jason Tay of Disc Republic, one of our great Canadian stores. I'm just so happy to have all these Canadian disc golf stores available to us.
This is what we said. We wanted to, especially in the off season, during the season, we do the A-tier recaps with the TDs and the MPO, FPO. So that kind of takes up a bulk of our episodes during the summer months, during the season. But during this off-season time, we wanted to stay away from the pros and really get to know disc manufacturers, disc store owners, course owners, anything that's manufactured in Canada, anything that promotes disc golf in Canada, we're going to be messaging you and we want to talk to you.
Well, and can I give just a tiny little behind the scenes of how excited I get about this time of year?
Sure.
So I get so excited, guys, that if I can line up the guests that I should say, that we've discussed, right? Yeah. But if we can line them up, we're pretty much good to the end of February with guests like this that are going to be fantastic for you. And I think you're going to love every one of those episodes. And if you do love them, like this one, Daryl.
Yeah.
People should hopefully subscribe to our YouTube channel.
They should.
They should follow us on Instagram, like our content, comment. All of that stuff helps, guys. It gives us just that much more exposure. More exposure allows us to make sure that these guests want to come on because they know it's going to help them and get their message out to all you wonderful listeners.
Yeah.
And if you are done all of those things, but you're like, that's not enough. I really want to support these two cool guys. What can you do?
They can join a Patreon.
They could.
They can go to www.patreon.com. I've got it in the chat, I think. No, I don't have it in the chat. Where's that?
They could do that.
I've got it somewhere. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Keep talking, Jeremy.
Yeah, so you could be a Patreon member. We do have our newest Patreon member, which just so happens to be Brendan McKinstry. So thanks for joining us there. And then also, you can check out our link tree. You could just buy us a beer, a one-time shot. We'll always take that. You know we like our beer.
Yeah, buymeacoffee.com. But it's actually, you can buy me a beer. Yeah. Any way you want to support us, we appreciate it. Go to patreon.com/chainout podcast. Chainout. There you go.
Well, Daryl.
Shameless plug.
And then everybody.
And that's what we will be doing right after this episode, Jeremy.
That is what we'd be doing for sure. So right after this episode, we're going to do our, what are we calling it? It's called
Around the Basket. No, that's not going to stick. I don't.
So we'll be doing that in about 15 minutes. Tonight, we've got Matt Dwyer joining us. We're going to have a bunch of conversations. He's lived and played disc golf in the U.S., so we want to do some, what's the difference? Is there a difference? Is there really a difference in MA2, as Jason was saying, is actually MA4? We'll have those conversations. Any other thoughts that we'll have? Anything on your mind?
We could go anywhere. The Around the Basket is more of a debate, a conversation, more so than just an interview.
Yeah.
But it seems like one staple. I don't know if it's going to be a staple, but I like it. We're going to do the distal.
Yes, we're going to do distal. If you haven't done that, it's like Wordle. Join us because we want you to interact in the chat with us. Help us guess. It's a lot of fun, or at least we find it is. If you don't think so, tell us that. Exactly. But at this point, we're enjoying it.
Yeah. Go to our Patreon. Have a look. You'll see all the links and all the tiers there. You'll see the link to the episode as well. Go over there and have a look. It's free. There's a free tier.
Yes, check that out. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, Daryl, is I can't wait for that Chains board game to come in.
Yeah.
And from the way it's set up is that you can actually play Raptors Knoll. That's one of the courses that's there. So I'm thinking we'll lay out Raptors Knoll. We'll have that eagle hole.
Yeah.
And then we get these different little templates that are going to be the flight of our disc. We're going to roll the dice.
Yeah.
And I think with how good I am at board games, because I got like 100 of them. I play board games like nobody's business.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll those dice.
Yeah.
And it's going to come up like aces, right? It's going to be, but Snake Eyes might be good in this case. I don't know.
Never know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
That disc is going to fly along this simulated track on the board.
Yeah.
It's going to go towards that basket.
Yeah.
And as it gets to that basket, there's one thing it's not going to do.
It wouldn't.
There's no way. It could never. Chain out!
Thanks, everybody.